So hello guys, how are you doing? We are sitting in a brand that we haven't done lots of stuff with. I don't know if I've uploaded already the G9 video or if this is the first video of XPENG cars on our channel. This particular car is the G6, and more or less both G6 and G9 got totally renewed also for the European release now that is happening this year. So you probably have heard about those cars, but the technology is greatly enhanced. Specifically, charging power has gone up to a level that is unbelievable. We will hopefully also see a glimpse in this video on how fast the car can charge. Secondly, also of course, it's not only about the charging, but it's also about lots of design updates. You've probably seen the G9 that has this wonderful black edition that I really like. Looks very, let's say, Europeanized, which is a good thing. And also the quality still, I mean, we jumped from the G9 to the G6 now, a bit of a smaller car, of course, also a bit of a, let's say, lower price level. It is still a very high quality. Everything feels very nicely built. It's a very quiet cabin, that's for sure. Of course, those cars are being updated over the air more or less all the time. So even if you don't get the newest, let's say, car from the dealership brand new, you constantly get updates over the course of the life cycle of the car. The brand somehow feels the first, let's say, Chinese brand who can compete with the premium competitors in Germany, I would say. Also in the mass market, we're not talking about 200,000 euro cars, but in the mass market this feels like a premium product that also we from Europe, from Germany, will really like. But without further talking, we want to find out how fast the car goes, 0 to 100 and 100 to 200. As said, the state of charge is only around 50%, so we probably won't have the perfect time now that the factory claims, but nevertheless I want to try it. We just get to sport, which should work also. Nice sound in here, and we can also click that launch button, which is not working with the gloves. Yeah, some animation and some sound is coming. And yeah, without further talking, let's kick it off. And something that I haven't talked about, which is very important for us, the dealerships are now popping up. It's not that you buy the car online or whatever. It's really that you can get to a dealership, even let's say very close to my home, is actually opening up for XPENG cars, and they have a nice showroom. And I think that's a good thing, that you can also test drive those cars on your own and get some good, let's say, offers and leasing rates right at your home. So good launch here, 0 to 100. 4.35 seconds, as said. Probably 3.9 is the ideal number, but as said, with 50% state of charge, that's already very good, and it looks that the power is not really dropping. Yeah, good number. So let's now head out to 3 Ps to see 100 to 200 acceleration. Yeah, top speed. Yeah, so 13.9 seconds is the best run we can do. 40% state of charge, so that's pretty good, I would say. At 100%, it probably does a second or a second and a half faster. I can truly believe that. Should be in the same direction as the G9. We did with the G9 at 10.7 seconds, and that's a lot bigger car. So yeah, you can imagine how much quicker this can be. So we are now charging the car here. One of those IP-tronic Ionity walls that can do 400. I'm not sure if the car or if it's actually able to show the full 400 right now. because that depends on various factors, but the car is capable of doing that. And we've actually hooked it up at, hard to see here, at 10%, pretty ideal. It already goes up at 310, and I think this is also the very interesting part about it, that the car is no longer the limiting factor of the charging session. Let's see how high this is going. Yeah, you can already see 386, and I mean the G6 and the G9, I think they're able to do even more than 500 in peak. So if you have the full power available, that's pretty amazing. And of course, with the 387 that the box and the power supply is now doing, we can't do the 12 minutes because that's the limiting factor of the car. And I think the most interesting part is that it's holding the 350 even above 50% state of charge. That meant 3 minutes only of charging, 21 kilowatt hours. So I think we have seen some good numbers considering the fact that we only had yeah, let's say 40 to 50% state of charge. 0 to 100 was almost what the factory is claiming, even though we had lower state of charge, and therefore I think yeah, you get a good pull and you're pulling away from more or less everybody else. But where you're mostly pulling away is let's say charging speed, because it's not only about the peak of charging, it's more or less charging at the full speed of the charger all the time. So usually the car is the limiting factor, and this time not the car is the limiting factor but the charger. But if the charger is capable of 350, you're let's say charging at 350 all of the time, and that's the good part about it, because that means that you're achieving maybe not always those 12 minutes, 10 to 80%, but I mean if it's 15 or 16 minutes in the end, it's still, let's say, yeah, twice as fast or maybe even 3 times as fast as what you are used to when driving electric cars.